leopard came and attacked him on his throat. And Anmol tried to fend himself. The leopard's paws were seen on his stomach and on his chest. That shows that Anmol tried to struggle the attack.
Anmol Bansal became one more victim, added to a list that grows by the day. In the past year, attacks in the Mumbai suburbs have increased, adding 20 fatalities in the last 2 months alone. But where the forest has been transformed into a concrete jungle, the inhabitants have learned to fear the leopards.
Many leopards have been sighted here quite often, not once but many times.
But for Beena Puri and Bhavna Patel, their anger is not aimed at the leopard. They think that the builders and planners have made it possible for leopards to come into their homes. The builders try to keep the lid on to prevent house prices from declining even further.
I was very angry and felt I would have killed the leopard if I had a gun. The situation with the dead child, it happened to Anmol today, it could be our children tomorrow.
I don't fear for myself, I fear for my loved ones, for my family, for my friends, for the children of the compound.
The fact that this suburb is still a green oasis adds to the problem.
This was like a protected sort of a jungle inside. That means the leopard was sitting and waiting for his prey. It was possible only because of all these greenery.
Once a leopard was found on a 4th floor balcony, having jumped there from a branch that stretched over the fence. Now the builders and residents have cleared the area between the houses and the surrounding landscape. They've raised the height of the fence and they keep guard day and night.
After the death of the child, there is some frustration, some anger, some hatred towards this animal.
At dusk, everyone knows it's the time for leopards. Local guards and new lights are some of the features residents have installed to increase safety. Leopards seem to be unimpressed. A trapping and relocation program is in place, but many fear the same leopards return time after time. Authorities have not been able to calm the people. The leopard, stealthy, elusive, and rarely sighted, is found throughout the Indian forests. But India's forests are today a pale shadow of their past glory. In a land crowded by 1 billion people, the national parks and sanctuaries are islands of haven for what still is an amazing diversity of life. The sambar shares its environment with the leopards, but also with tigers. Both sambar and chital will have to be aware because tigers and wild dogs are efficient predators. But how many leopards are there in India? Experts estimate the total population at around 7,500. But this is only a guess. Leopards in India have hardly been studied. Little is known about their behavior and ecology. The forest in Bori in central India can hold some clues to the life of the elusive cat. And filmmaker Praveen joins Advait Edgaonkar, a wildlife biologist who's trying to study their ranging patterns, their food habits, and their behavior. And for him, too, every encounter is a thrill. But he also knows that most leopards will shy away from people, and only the odd individual will become a man-eater.
I think we've lost him. This was a big male and a great sighting.
Advait is trying to find a particular leopard, one he has followed for some time. And at this stage, he doesn't know if she is the leopard which has killed some villagers' cattle and could become a problem cat for people living here too. He calls the leopard Tangamani, and she had 2 cubs. Advait knows she has killed a cow in the area, since he can identify her by her paw prints, but he fears one of the cubs has been killed, though he's not sure yet.
There don't seem to be any pug marks around today. But generally, Tangamani walks along here many times. So there's a good chance of us being able to catch her here.
Advait's working area is rich in wildlife, and the leopard is not the only animal he will encounter. It is imperative to understand how all the species in this forest interact if Advait is to be successful in creating knowledge that in turn can help understand how poaching and leopard-human conflict is affecting leopard populations. But studying an elusive and largely nocturnal animal is easier said than done, and Advait's problems are just beginning. Since Advait must know where the leopards are at any given time, he must be able to track them using radio collars, which means he first must build cages to trap them. A 3-month ordeal is at an end.
So finally the cages are ready and we are going to move them, have them load them onto the truck, and it's taken a hell of a long time, so one has to be a little patient when one does these things, I guess.
Patience is something Advait has relied on in the past, and something he will need to rely on in the coming months as well. Far away from Advait's research area, the villagers in Garhwal are upset over recent leopard attacks on children. To ease tension, the authorities order the man-eater to be killed. The hunters return to sit over live bait. The hunter, Rakesh Bartwal, takes pride in all the leopards he has killed and the awards he has won for this bravery. For him, the decision to kill or not to kill is hardly a difficult one to make. He thinks this is the solution. After a successful night, the hunter has added 1 more leopard to his list of trophies. 90% of all the leopards Bartwal kills are females, as is this one, a 2-year-old youngster. But was she a man-eater, or is this just an innocent cat that was in the wrong place at the wrong time? The bullet pierced her heart. The villagers are certain this is not the leopard that killed the village girl, because they just saw a leopard in a different part of the village.
Villagers go near a stream to fill water. We have just heard that barely 10 minutes ago, people saw a leopard there. From this, it seems the terror will continue.
The man-eater is still alive. Where will it strike next?